Scientists and psychologists really overcomplicate this mental health shit. I'm not gonna lie. Now you may be wondering, who the fuck is this guy to make such a claim? Well, my name is Jaden. I'm a Renaissance man, I'm a spiritual teacher, and for the last year, I've been dedicating my life to the esoteric philosophy, to deepening myself and my connection. And for the last 5 years, I've been on my own mental health journey. I'm currently 21, and I started my mental health journey when I was 15, so going on 6 years actually. I started when I was a freshman in high school with my own social worker. And, from the things that I learned from my social worker, Miss Mick, shout out Miss Mick, from the things that I've learned the last year and a half I've been on, or almost 2 years I've been on personal development. The last year I've been a devoted student of the metaphysical philosophies and the mystical arts. I've found that mental health is really just a byproduct of spiritual health. Back in August, I was talking to one of my clients at the time, Tristan, and we were talking about where he was at with his journey in terms of his purpose and in terms of stuff he wanted to do. Me and Tristan actually started working together in a YouTube and business relationship where I was going to help him out with some YouTube stuff and sign some coaching clients through YouTube. But then he actually found out that he didn't even want to be pursuing YouTube or monetarily, doing really anything monetary. Tristan's a killer salesman, and so he makes more than enough money. The money really wasn't a priority for him. It was more about his health, his wellness, his relationships. That was really what mattered to him at the moment. And so we were talking about this during this conversation. We had a super awesome, super long combo. And towards the end of it, he asked me, he's like, "Hey, Jaden, you think you have anything else for me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Tristan, you've been talking about physical health, mental health, emotional health. All that's awesome. You're forgetting about the most important one, spiritual health." And what I like to conceptualize spiritual health is how in alignment you are living with the law of one. Now, we're not going to talk about the law of one right now. That'd be way too long. But basically, you can think of the law of one as the law of oneness, or the law of do no harm. The law of one is the law of love. It's the law of acceptance. It's the law that we are all one, we are all connected. And so anything I put out must come back to me. This is the law of one. And basically what the law of one says is that any harm you do to another person, any harm you do to yourself, must come back to you in suffering. Any deviation from the law of one, any misperception in your mind, any act that is in alignment with harming others, harming yourself, anything that deviates from the law of one, the law of love, the law of acceptance, the law of do no harm, anything that deviates, also you could say the law of authenticity. That's also important, the law of authenticity. Anything that deviates from that is suffering. Or at least that separation, that creates separation, which then creates suffering. Now, how does this relate to what you're currently experiencing in your life? It's in my opinion that if you want to love life, all you have to do are the things that you love. Very simple. I was hating life a year ago, or I was super depressed a year ago, super down bad. But you know why? I wasn't actually living authentically. I wasn't being as expressive. I wasn't being as authentic as I could be. I had a lot of limited beliefs that were holding me back from sharing my truth. I wasn't creating or expressing as much as I wanted to. I wasn't, making content consistently. I wasn't making art consistently. I wasn't pursuing my business or content endeavors. I wasn't really outside or connecting with nature. I wasn't really moving much. All these aspects that are critical aspects of my life now. Like I'm admitting, I told you guys, I'm a Renaissance man. I dedicate my life to pursuing mastery in the areas of mind, body, spirit, and creating. Because it's in my opinion that the holistic approach is the only approach. I wholeheartedly believe that. I see people who are lacking in their physical health. You know what I mean? You're wildin'. I see people who are lacking in their mental health. Nah, you're wildin'. I see people who are unconnected, who are lacking in their spiritual health. Nah, you're wildin'. I see people who aren't expressing their deepest heart's desires, not creating. Nah, you're fucking wildin', bro. All y'all niggas is tripping. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Y'all tripping. Like I said, the law of one, or the law of authenticity, you need to do the things that you genuinely feel allured to do, you genuinely feel desire to do. And the thing is, you're not doing those things because you've been programmed to believe that you can. You've been programmed to believe that you can't do the things you want. You've been programmed to believe that you're unworthy, and so you can't express the things that you want to express. Here's the thing, guys. When it comes to doing anything, when it comes to expressing anything, when it comes to creating anything, when it comes to living in alignment with your authentic being, all actions that are in alignment with your authentic being are an expression of your authentic being. And so let me ask you this. If you don't feel comfortable expressing your authentic self because you've been programmed to believe you're unworthy, you're not good enough, what you want is stupid, who you are isn't good enough, whatever bullshit program you've been put on by your parents, the school system, religious figures, the media, I don't fucking care. It doesn't matter. Whatever bullshit programming that you've been sold makes you feel that your authentic, unique self is not good enough. And because of that, you won't express it. You won't act in alignment with that authentic self because internally, you believe that authentic self should not be expressed. You've been programmed that. And so now your subconscious accepts that. Your subconscious accepts, I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. I can't express this. I can't act in alignment with how I truly want to act. I have to be someone else. That fucking disgusts me. Fuck me, that's gross. It sickens me that so many people live inauthentically. It sickens me that so many people have to live lies. Because I lived a lie for so long. From 10 years old, I was stuck validating. Oh man, I was so attached to validation. I was so attached to externals. Whether it was girls or friends or fucking seeking online validation. Bro, I started making YouTube videos when I was this big. I posted my first YouTube video February 24th, 2012. I was 8 years old. Within 3-4 weeks, I had a video pop off, 15, 20K views. Ever since then, bro, ego, validation consciousness, attaching to the externals, attaching to the numbers, trying to fill this hole of lack inside of me. There's never enough. You know why? Because inherently, the thing you're lacking is yourself. And you're never going to find yourself out there. You're never going to find yourself in the girls, or in the money, or in the drugs, or in the video games, or in the alcohol, or in the video, I already said video, or in the content, or the social media, or the porn. I've done all of them. You'll never find yourself there. I promise. I fucking promise. You can only go within and find yourself. And this is why I said that spiritual health is king. You have to go within. You have to understand your truest self. You have to understand that you are not just an individual, but you are an aspect of a whole. You are not just a separate self. You are one with the true self. You are a unique expression of the true self. You are a unique self. You are not some separate self. You're not some false self who isn't good enough, who is trapped, who has to, fucking, fight other people for validation. Whatever bullshit you've been sold, like, that's not you. That false precept you've been identifying with for the last, I don't know, 5, 10, who even knows, 20 years. It's not you. The things that you want to do, who you truly are in here. And where do you start? You start with those things that you love doing as a child. When I was a kid, I always loved running around. I always loved moving. I always loved drawing and dancing, making comic books, creative writing. Like I told you guys, I started posting my first YouTube videos when I was 8. What did you guys absolutely love to do from ages 3 to 8 years old? For me, like I told you, it was being outside. It was being active. It was being in nature. It was learning. It was art. All these things. It was talking to people. It was teaching, right? Shit, at 5 years old, I was pretty ahead at my math class, at math, because I had this like calculator leapfrog game that I learned my multiplications and timetables on when I was like 4. And so when I went into middle school, when I went to elementary school, I was super ahead of the curve. And so I was helping my friends out with math. I'm like, yo, gang, I got you. This is light work. I've always loved teaching. I've always loved helping people. I've always loved listening. This is why I'm a teacher. This is why I'm a coach. I do the things I love. Yesterday, my article of Jaden's Curiosity Chronicles. By the way, guys, if you like reading, I have a free archive over 100 articles on mindset, mental health, metaphysics, and making stuff. It's at their link description. But yesterday, I wrote an article talking about the 3 types of movement. And I'm not going to talk about that, but one of them is spiritual movement. And spiritual movement is working or creating. I'll tell you guys the 3 types of movement real quick. There's physical movement, exercise, mental movement, learning, and then spiritual movement, which is work or creating. Creating is the most spiritual thing you can do. God is the creator. Come on. Right? Expressing your true self. That's the most spiritual thing you can do. And so, it's my opinion that when you're in alignment with these movements, you're in alignment with your true self. Whatever movement genuinely feels resonant for you. Maybe that's physical movement, maybe that's walking, maybe that's swimming, maybe that's resistance training, mental movement, right? Whatever you like to learn about. Creating, however you like to create. Maybe that's writing, whether that's recording, maybe that's drawing, maybe that's illustration, whatever. I was writing yesterday and I was like, most of us think that we don't like working. It's wrong. We don't like, or I said that I used to think I hated working, right? But that's not true. I just hated doing bullshit that I didn't care about for a reason that meant nothing to me. And that's totally valid. But I don't hate working. I fucking love working. I love that I'm recording this video right now. I love when I'm writing. I fucking love teaching. I love advising people, right? I love it. I love working. I do the things I love, and so I love life. I love moving, and so I walk a fuck ton. I train. I love learning, so I learn a lot. I love creating, so I create a lot. You see what I'm getting at here? But a year ago, I wasn't doing these things. But it was only because of one reason. It's my mindset. It was those limited beliefs. It was all those paradigms that I didn't believe I was good enough. I didn't think I could be these things. And so I was trapped. If that's where you are right now, I understand. So here's what I want you to do. I just made a guide called Mental Alchemy 101. And it's available in written, video, or audio format. And it's a it's a no BS blueprint to practically improving your mental health so you can unblock your unlimited creativity and genuinely start living as the most authentic, free, and ruthless creator you can be. So if you're ready to overcome those limited beliefs that you've been struggling with, check out that second link description, all right? Guys, if you just do the things that you love, I promise you'll love life. Like, I guarantee it, actually. I wasn't doing the things I love a year ago. I wasn't outside. I wasn't connecting with nature. I wasn't walking. I wasn't moving. I wasn't training. I wasn't contributing to the collective. I wasn't serving on YouTube. I wasn't writing. I wasn't creating. I wasn't showing up for myself. Basically, the only thing I was doing a year ago is like learning obsessively. And because I was learning without taking action, I felt like shit. Now, granted, that season where you're just learning and taking no action, it's a part of the process, but you want to take action as soon as possible. Like I said, guys, my name is Jaden. I'm a Renaissance man. I'm a spiritual teacher who's here to help people live their most authentic and free lives as possible. So if that resonates with you, I'd appreciate if you drop a sub. Check out the Digital Renaissance Creator Substack. Besides that, do it today. Be better for it tomorrow. Stay blessed. Stay loving. Catch y'all. Thumbs out.